Mr. STICKERMANIA from Louisville, Kentucky with our Christmas night special 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live stream. How's it going out there? Just got back from seeing the Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan movie. It wasn't sold out, but there was a pretty good crowd there. Went to the 4:45 showing here in Louisville. Any of you out there seen the new Bob Dylan movie yet? Couple notes about the Bob Dylan movie. They played the Kinks all day and all the night in the movie. They only briefly talked about the Beatles in the movie. I thought that they would have a scene where the Beatles and Bob Dylan were in the Plaza Hotel or Delmonica Hotel in New York, and first time the Beatles smoked pot with Bob Dylan, but they didn't. They talked about, they went to a movie, him and his girlfriend Sylvia, and saw a Betty Davis movie, and this is the Kim Carnes in the shrink with the hype sticker for Betty Davis eyes. They talked about, they had Joan Baez doing House of the Rising Sun, one of my top 10 favorite songs by the Animals. These are my two Eric Burdon albums I have right now. Eric Burdon, I Used to Be an Animal, and Eric Burdon in the Wine, or Eric Burdon in War, Spill the Wine. That was on Bob Dylan's first album.
Gordon said, "Happy birthday, Jesus."
How you doing?
Daniel said, "Did you watch Beyonce's halftime performance? She opened up for Blackburn."
Did not see it, Daniel. I was busy going to your Bob Dylan movie.
Dr. Rick said, "Merry Christmas, Stickermania and Sticker Kids."
How you doing?
Mr. Make Believe said, "Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope all had a good one."
Thanks. We did.
The Paul Should Not Be Allowed to Die guy said, "Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And the Canadian mail strike is over. You could send my help book for winning the trivia contest."
My son's tried twice in the last 2 weeks to send that, and they say that there's a mail strike, but we'll try again tomorrow.
Alex Channel said, "Merry Christmas to everyone."
See if you can find my Bob Dylan sheet music and post magazine that's over in the courier cabinet. I forgot to get that.
Jenna said, "Do you recommend a Complete Unknown? Like,
Yes.
Do you think it was good?"
Yeah, I took my grandson with me, and it's a really good movie.
Thomas said, "Hello and Merry Christmas to all."
The music's really good. It's all, it's none of it's Bob Dylan's original tracks. It's all recorded for the movie. Really good sound in the movie theater I went to. What was the last name? Uncle Paul's?
Thomas Crook?
Thomas Crook, okay. Thomas Crook, we got your winning VJ sleeve is out in the mail to you. Couple other notes about the Bob Dylan movie, then I'll move on here. At the end credits, it said some of the things Bob Dylan's famous for. Not showing up for when he won the Nobel Prize. He sent his son in his place. And I couldn't tell at the first concert scene. I thought it was from the Monterey Festival, but it could have been the Newport. But when I was out in California, we specifically went to Carmel and Monterey so I could walk through the fairgrounds where the Monterey Pop Festival happened.
What are you looking for?
The Bob Dylan Life magazine and the sheet music for Like a Rolling Stone. Bob Dylan on the David Letterman show. This is a famous thing you pull up on YouTube.
Mikey said, "Merry Christmas."
How you doing, Mikey Arugula? David Letterman got the best all-star band possible at that time to back up Bob Dylan singing Like a Rolling Stone. He had Jim Keltner on drums, He had Carole King on piano. He had the Paul Schaefer Band. There was Michelle Shocked and a couple other girls that sang background vocals. It was the best backing group you could ever have. And Bob Dylan came out and he mumbled his way through like a rolling stone. So that's just the way Bob is. I think later on in life he kind of felt bad for doing that.
Woofy Baby said Merry Christmas, Frank Sticker Kids.
How you doing, Woofy Baby? All right, I think that's all my notes about the movie. Unless, oh, they did play. Bob Dylan was in a car with not Woody Guthrie, but Pete Seeger, and he said, "Can I turn on the AM radio, the car radio?" And Slippin' and Slidin' by Little Richard was being played, and Bob right away knew it was the flip side of Long Tall Sally.
Mr. Make Believes, I got myself another great copy of the Phil Spector Christmas EP with the super rare original sleeve.
Phil Spector Christmas album. There it is with the signed check. I have to get this off the table here because it's so fragile.
And Daniel said Dylan challenged the Beatles to write all adult oriented.
All right, well I gotta do my own content for a second, clear the table off, and then we'll take some messages, okay? I got a lot of fragile stuff here and I'm tripping over it. All right, Phil Spector's Christmas album. This picture was taken, George Harrison's in the background when this photo was being taken, 1972. The Phil Spector's Christmas album on Apple Records. Yeah.
Sheet music?
That's it. That's it.
Both of them?
Yeah. And there is the signed check from December 22nd, 1972 by Phil Spector. It says Phil Spector Enterprises. It's made out to George Brand for $150. It was a $200 and they took out federal tax of $50. So that's my Phil Spector moment. All right, let's clear the table off. Any other messages before I start clearing the table? Here's a one.
The pause should not be allowed to die, guys. And have you seen Bob Dylan and John Lennon in the car in Britain?
Yes, it's a pretty funny interview. That's not a real good video, but you talk about two big egos in the backseat of a limo.
Mr. Make Believe said, I had no idea George Harrison is in the background of that back photo.
Yes.
And Jason Roxas said, Merry Christmas to everyone. And
Jason Rowhouse is here?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jason Rowhouse, I got something to show you. I know you already got one.
Yes, any
he
turquoise.
said, any turquoise Led Zeppelins for some.
Here you go, Jason. I know you got one. This baby is almost near mint. Sold for $5,600 and $4,000 of it have been paid so far, paid on payments. Last time I show it before it'll be shipped out. It's got super hype music, Jewel music as the credits, uncorrected matrices. It looks like the record's never been played. And you know, Dylan from Noble Records just did a 20-minute video on this album, how in the future will be one of the highest priced, most valuable albums of all time in rock and roll history. I've had 3 of them in my lifetime. Sold them for $3,300, $3,600, and now $5,600. Somebody sold one for $10,000 once on Pop Site. And got the original patent inner sleeve from England. Polyline.
No, I'm talking about.
What do you think of that, Jason? Is yours similar in quality and condition to that one?
There was two things Jason said. You could say the Holy Smokes, and he'd give his soul for it.
Jason said how much he'll give his soul for it.
How much you'll what?
Give his soul for it.
He loves if he'd give his soul for that.
Oh, yeah. I kind of regret selling it. I'll probably never have another one in this lifetime.
He said how much?
Sold it for $5,600.
Jenna said, which lucky person is getting the Led Zeppelin?
No, skip that.
Mr. Make Believe said that film of Lennon and Dylan together, Dylan is the only person on earth that seemed to intimidate.
All right, I'm going to clear the table off and I'm going to ignore
What do you
messages
think
for
of that?
5
That's
minutes.
what I
You
just
hear that,
said.
what he said now?
What?
He said Bob Dylan seemed to be the only person to intimidate John Lennon. He said
That's
he-
true. Hey, John, that's why I think Rubber Soul came out, because of Bob Dylan. My Rubber Soul album is put away at the moment. All right, let me clear the table off and then we'll take some more messages. So that's my original sheet music from 1965 of Like a Rolling Stone, considered one of the top 5 rock songs of all time. If you watch that movie, they did not want him to play that song at the at the Newport Festival in 1965. And there he is, called Recluse, 1968. Bob Dylan, what do they say? A rare picture of Bob Dylan in seclusion. And then in there they go, they have all the greatest artists of all time, or at that time period. And they go, enter the king, Bob Dylan. All right, let's put the Bob Dylans away. Let's clear off the table.
Clear off the table.
Gemini goes in. Gemini go.
All right, we got this night. We're talking about the holiday season. We got this 1969.
Can you give me some water?
I glued this back together. I'm going to show it one more time and then put it away. See if I can lift it. Hung up for a gift, give the Beatles. On the back of this, the original 1969 display from United States. Abbey Road, Sgt. Pepper, The White Album, Yellow Submarine, Rubber Soul, Magical Mystery Tour, and Revolver. Alright, let's lay that down. I could have used some help there, but the cameraman's in the other room. Let's put it away.
Why is the cameraman in the other room?
I don't know. Maybe that's going to use your father. Other things on the table. Christmas time, 1965. If you belong to the Beatles fan club, you got this original 1965 United Kingdom, the official Beatles fan club. Really nice shape, still pretty white. And the flexi disc and the insert that Mikey Rugla has the other one. And I got this with my sign, 1965, the only fan club record ever to be signed by all 4 Beatles. I got that locked up in my bank vault. Somebody just sent me a message on eBay and they wanted me to send them an offer. I sent them an offer of $35,000.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money. Worth every penny of it. Well, ask Mikey Rugla if it's worth that much money.
He's gonna say no.
Huh. Other things on the table, Christmas time.
Can I move this?
Christmas of 1963 in the United Kingdom. This original with the Beatles, released in England. Got some aging stains, over 60 years old. And it doesn't have sold in the UK along the middle, so this is a 1963 pressing from England. And it does have the Dr. Robert on there. All right, it's the original polyline Imitex inner sleeve from England. Next Christmas release, 1966 Christmas in the United Kingdom. They didn't have a Beatles album to be released, so they released a collection of Beatle oldies. Got the flip backs. 1960s pressing from England. 1968. You got another White Album top loader. I sold my last top loader. You know, I sold my top loader mono for $2,500. Sold my top loader number 254,000 for $500 a couple days ago. Got one top loader left. This is number. Got the record store sticker on there from England. This is a 502,139. Perry Cox had a mono 252,000 today. In near mint condition, it went for $5,600. The White Album is like the Led Zeppelin turquoise. The nice White Albums are just going to keep going up from England. The original black die-cut black inner sleeves. And these albums have the EMI. These do not have the EMI recording up here. So these are the very first pressing. And it has the small E on Revolution number 9, if you can see that. Revolution number 9 has a small E instead of a large E. That was a mistake on the very first pressing, November 1968. 56 years ago when I started working in the grocery business, and there was a White Album, a rack on the front counter. We only had a little store that had 3 registers. And the rack had the top 10 albums of that Christmas of 1968. And I asked my dad, boy, I'd like that White Album for Christmas. And he got it for me. So the other day was the last Christmas Eve. I'm working in the grocery business after 56 years. It is a little bit emotional.
You'll be back.
3 other Christmas seasons we got to cover. I will not be back. Let's quit talking about that.
You brought it up.
Yeah, I brought it up to talk about it.
Damn, I said you'll be back.
So in the Bob Dylan movie, Sylvia talked about "I Don't Want to Be a Plate" on a man spinning plates on Ed Sullivan's show. That's when she broke up with Bob Dylan, and thought that was a pretty nice moment in the film. Christmas season 1969. You had the Rolling Stones' "Let It Bleed" come out. If I play this, I won't get paid for the video, but you know this plays "Give Me Shelter." I played it check one of my older videos. This was in a store in either in Mexico or in Spain, because it has that kind of lettering on the back. And it played "Give Me Shelter" when you press this little button. And it lights up, the back screen lights up. All right, you want to take care of that? Go and put it over in the corner. Christmas of 1967. This is not the 67 pressing. This is the audiophile pressing of Germany, 1977, a Magical Mystery Tour. It's still in the factory shrink with the import sticker on it. If you haven't heard of this pressing, a Magical Mystery Tour with B3 on the flip side, you're missing out. Strawberry Fields and Penny Lane, like John Hood said, first time he heard Strawberry Fields on this pressing, he fell off his chair. One more Christmas season, 1995. I went to a Best Buy store and at midnight, had to wait in a line for 15 minutes. Got in the store and bought my first Anthology 1.
When?
In 1995. I was still back in Ohio.
30 years ago?
Yep. 29 years ago.
About to be 30.
That's all my Christmas albums. All right, let's catch up on messages.
There's a lot. I'm gonna pick them. Daniel said I mentioned that before about it challenging them.
About what?
Bob Dylan challenging the Beatles.
Oh, challenging the Beatles?
Daniel had said that before in another stream.
So you mean that they came out with Rubber Soul to compete against it? Yeah.
Okay, a lot of these are
So he,
based off of stuff.
John Lennon and Paul McCartney are heavily influenced by which album would have been the one where him and Sylvia are on the cover as a hype sticker for 1963 Rolling Stones album. They show it in the movie, and they're as fast as the guy can open the box. They're selling that records in the store. What's it called? Daniel, what's the 1963 Rolling Stones Bob Dylan album that heavily influenced the Beatles?
Gemini Girl said Perry Cox says it's worth $35,000. Then yes.
Perry Cox says it's worth every bit of it.
Gemini, well, never mind. Jason and Mr. Make Believe both said great Dylan, definitely worth it. Daniel Castillo said original is it a -1 on both sides, -1.
It has an uncorrected matrix. You're talking about Led Zeppelin Turquoise?
I don't know.
Yes, it has the uncorrected matrices of, it must be -1. Oh, you're going to get me looking at that one more time.
Jason said any King Diamond, looking for the OG Monarch.
Of what?
King Diamond?
King Street Diamond.
King Diamond, no street.
King Diamond. All right, we got Matrix.
King Diamond, I guess is the name of it.
Looks like 1S. No, it's got. This is a real expensive record to be handling. Side 1. You have A, number 1. On side 2, you have B, number 1. No uncorrected matrices.
Okay,
With the Beatles, or with that Beatles. Daniel.
with the Beatles was recut over 5 times within a year, said Daniel.
With the Beatles, yes, it was recut. It's about as Rubber Soul was recut 6 times.
Daniel said.
Or 5 times, 5.
Daniel said the White Album is nowhere near as rare as the Turquoise. $5,000 for a White Album is absurd.
Well, Perry Cox had the best White Album condition he's had in 38 years of Dylan and Beatles memorabilia. It went from 2,100 to 5,600 in less than 60 seconds the last minute on eBay.
Daniel Castillo said freewheeling Bob Dylan talking about the Beatles.
Freewheeling, that's it. That's the answer I wanted.
And then he said he was talking about with the Beatles was the Matrix that he was asking about, not the Turquoise. He was talking about with the Beatles.
With the Beatles.
He just said the Turquoise.
No, but he was talking about when he said the...
With the Beatles. And this one we have 1 in and we have 1 in. Is that what you wanted to know there, Daniel? 1 in, 1 in.
Mr. Make Believe said, congratulations on your upcoming retirement from your job. I think it's safe to say you found a way to keep busy.
You know, I keep pretty busy.
Need water.
Say please.
Please give me my water.
No.
Did I say all my notes on the Bob Dylan movie? The Monkees, they had Al Cooper, and he's the one who played on Like a Rolling Stone, and he had a shirt that Bob Dylan hated. It was like a shirt the Monkees wore. Where's the Monkees' first album?
Jason said this is the best stream ever.
All right, Jason. Here's the Monkees' first album, and it has a mistake for Papa Jeans on there, a J instead of a G. And you know how the Peter used to wear those shirts with the polka dots all on them? They called them a monkey shirt. They got that J.C. Penney's pushed them. It's on the cover of more of the Monkees. But Al Cooper was wearing that polka dot shirt in the movie tonight, and Bob Dylan hated it. But when he woke up at 7 in the morning and he had to talk to Pete Seeger, he put that shirt back on real quick, mistakenly. So he had the monkey shirt on in that scene. So that was pretty cool. Another thing about the Monkees, you saw Mary McCartney's Instagram where Paul and the band, right before they got onto the last show last week in London at the O2 Arena, their warm-up song when they're walking down the backstage is the theme from the Monkees. One of the guitarists is playing acoustic guitar and the whole band is singing a theme from the Monkees before they go on stage for their last Paul McCartney show in London last week.
Merry Christmas, Uncle Paul.
How you doing, Uncle Paul?
I don't know if he's here.
No, she's just reading the card. Jason, Jason Rojas. It's another Holy Grail from Christmas of 1969, right before Christmas. It probably got bought at Christmas time. Led Zeppelin 2. It sold for $4.99 at the Flipside store, and it has the hype sticker for a whole lot of love and the title backs on the back. This is $3,000. Show me my. Here's my.
Take care of that for her. Help out. Need help out.
I'll get this one.
That's my store where all my high price stuff's up on. Is my eBay store, STICKERMANIA 2853. I've had 2 people come after me last week saying my prices are too high, but I have the best of the best. You know, my rules are condition, 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 and rarity, rarity, rarity.
If you would like to email, here's the email.
There's my YouTube email, Mr._StickerMania@yahoo.com.
Uncle Paul's in the live now. Let me see what.
All right, we're going to do a Chappell moment.
Wait. Uncle Paul said Merry Christmas. Just got here. Did you start early?
We started at 10 o'clock because I was off work today. Sorry about that, Uncle Paul.
Soon we're going to be starting a little bit earlier.
All right, Chappell. She's back here with her Christmas poster right here. Can you believe this? Chappell is going back to the top of the charts in England. She's number 3 this week on the England Billboard charts, and she might be number 1. Again, England looks at music a little different than we do here in the United States. And I know Jason Rojas, you're a fan of the new Chappell, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess. Give me the album.
I am. I was just picking these up so I don't push them down.
This is my Urban Outfitters sealed pink vinyl version. Take these off here. I'm just fooling with them.
Ah. Chappell.
Chappell. We saw her in Franklin, Tennessee on what date? October?
No, it was September something.
September 1st, 2nd? It was right at the beginning of a month. Sold out show of 15,000. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for 4 good seats, but it was a lot of money on the secondary market. What a show, what a show.
Actually, no, it was October 1st.
October 1st, and the whole video of that show, somebody was right up front where the VIP was and did the whole hour and 10-minute video of the concert. You should check it out. All right, put the Chappells down. Good Luck Babe has been chosen by US Today as the number 2 song behind Taylor Swift of 2024. Good Luck Babe. And I told you there's a artist over in Europe, Franz. I'm not going to say his last name right. Franz Ferdinand. He does a great rock version of Good Luck Babe. You should check it out. And there's my early CD of School Nights by Chappell when she got kicked off of Atlantic Records for doing a rock version of Pink Pony Club. But she did it at the wrong time. COVID was the wrong time to have a dance club song. All right, you want to put all that away?
Here's stickers.
Stickers of Chappell. Sticker granddaughters into Chappell.
Well, you got all kinds of comments to catch up on.
All right, a few more notes and I'll take some more comments. a Beatles comic book yesterday on eBay that was supposedly signed by all 4 Beatles, sold for $2,500, and I could tell right away that all the signatures were fake. And you know that a butcher cover, a see-through butcher cover, sold on eBay last week, about 10 days ago, for $12,000, and the seller was reported anonymously. How do you say that word? Anonymously.
Anonymous.
But I don't know if they're been taken off of eBay. But the same thing they sold for $12,000. Mikey Arugula showed me a listing where they're selling the same thing for $60 today. So that's a $1,190 $40 mistake. Gemini girl, we'll talk about her when we show these butcher covers. I'll do that next after my messages. And somebody sent me a message on my last video short on YouTube that you are an ambassador of Beatlemania. So I appreciate the compliment.
Mr. Make Believe said, I don't get people who be worried about prices. If you don't want to pay the price, don't get it. Not complicated.
Yeah, move on.
Dr. Rick said, agreed. And then Jenna said, well, if many people are saying the price is high, then strong possibility it is. Same goes for house prices. Way too high.
Yep.
And then Uncle Paul says, so Ari, did you get the official? He asked if I got the room code in the box that you gave me as an early Christmas gift. Yep, I got it. It's in my room at my new house. And Gemini Girl said, Franz Ferdinand.
That's it.
Is the whole band.
It's the whole band. Do you think that the version they do of Good Luck Babe is just amazing? I do.
George Music for All Seasons said $11,940 mistake.
That's correct. Not a big mistake. $11,940 mistake. I would think I'd be wanting my money back. At least eBay's got a 30-day money back guarantee. I hope that by me messaging this, the person that bought that realized that it was not a real see-through butcher cover. All right, butcher covers. Thanks to Gemini Girl, I learned something in the last 2 days. We did a live video of me peeling this Monday for about an hour. I couldn't get it off all the way. You see there's a few tears and imperfections up here. I finished it off after I got back from the grocery store. And there is a remove trunk slick.
We got a wet towel.
So last night, that's my next thing I'm talking about.
Oh.
Thanks to Gemini Girl, I learned a new technique with these strong butcher covers that have been on there too many years. I did this last night. The trunk slick had some aging spots on there, and it even went through to the butcher cover over there on Ringo's smock. But I use this towel here, wet towel, like Gemini Girl said last night. And boy, when I put that on there on that second layer, it just came right off with my thumb. Thanks a lot, Gemini Girl. This one turned out a lot better than this one.
Gemini Girl said, you're welcome, buddy. And Daniel Castillo said, I feel the live stream added a little bit of pressure to your pill job. You were
It did.
put on the spot.
I was put on the spot. I was a little more relaxed last night when I did this near mint peel. But look at that cover with all those age spots and how rough it was. And I was able to get that kind of peel last night with the wet towel. Gregory Fio says I need to use a hot wet towel, but I just used a wet towel. Thanks a lot, Gemini Girl.
She said, you're welcome, buddy.
All right, that one goes with this one. Your sign fell behind you.
What the heck? Why'd you make it fall?
All right, we got some messages before I show some other things. Do we have some messages? I got some Bob Dylan.
Gordon just keeps talking about these freaking
Hey,
parodies.
these look good. Keep going.
Keep going. All right. So after the Christmas season, January 9th, careful.
I just almost killed myself.
Oh, I got a $4,000 album here.
Well, I care more about myself.
Well, you're on the Beatles live stream right now. Please.
Oh,
This is the very first issue of a Beatles album released in North America. The cover was made in June of 1963 and put into a storage unit for 6 months in Chicago because VJ said the Beatles would never sell in America. Came out in January officially, January 10th. When I Want to Hold Your Hand and Meet the Beatles, they heard it was going to be released. VJ had a meeting. They said, hell with it. We're already going broke. Let's put this out and make some money. So it's got the printed in the USA up here. Real nice spine. A little bit of wear on the edge. The ad backs, they got no writing on the back. Pretty nice for a cover that's 61 years old. Got the original VJ company inner sleeve. That's what they didn't have a title back, so they just pasted one of those over on the back of it. And it's got there's only about, Perry Cox estimated there's only about 20 decent copies left of this that exist in the world. With stereo at the 12 o'clock position. And it's all true stereo except for Love Me Do and P.S. I Love You. That there are no true stereo versions except for the remix versions that Giles Martin did. So that's $4,000. Jason Rojas, you want to buy that?
Everyone give a like, please, for Christmas. And
Talking about Love Me Do. 1962 pressing of Love Me Do from England. And it does have Lennon McCartney on the credits. Brian Epstein bought 10,000 of these and put them away because he wanted the Love Me Do to get on the charts. And it got to number 17. That's original company inner sleeve from late 1962 in England and Parlophone. All the way up to Long and Winding Road, 1970 in the United States. This is a real tough sleeve to get in decent shape because of the ridges on the record. If I can get it out of here. Long and Winding Road, that white sleeve shows us these ridges are right along the rim of that record. This is an unplayed record. And it would mess up if you saw most of these Long and Winding Roads have a great big ring wear right there from those ridges. This one's in excellent condition. 1970, the last number one single by the Beatles in America. Any messages?
okay.
Rolling Stones. Somebody wanted me to see if I had any original inner sleeves with the women that didn't want to be on there, and I do have one. So reach out to me and we'll try to make a deal. Some Girls 1978. Somebody told me George Harrison's in one of these pictures. There he is. Right there by Ephemera and Ronnie Wood. Somebody's right. I guess you don't see that when it's in here, and that's why I wondered why they kept saying George Harrison was there, but there he is. Boy, I learned something today.
Daniel sent a message to your Yahoo account. He asked what the condition of the With the Beatles was.
Oh, it's not that great. It's a 61-year-old mono record that was played on normal turntables in England. It's probably only in good position or fair condition. Rolling Stones. Talked about Led Zeppelin some. We got to show some Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan night.
He said bummer but expected.
He said what?
He said bummer, but expected because of the time.
Yeah. Bob Dylan. Here we go. You saw my Blonde on Blonde I showed last week, one of the 5 greatest albums in my opinion of all time, 1966. This is the 2nd issue that doesn't have Claudia in there. Thought it has some females in there, but it doesn't. You guys might know who this guy is here. I'm not sure. Bob Dylan. I always love the song on here, Absolutely Sweet Marie, because I saw Jason and the Scorchers do that song, and then I figured out Bob Dylan did the original. He wrote the song, Absolutely Sweet Marie.
Uncle Paul missed what you said you'd seen the movie because he asked if you'd seen the movie.
Yeah, we went to a 4:45 showing of it today. It seemed to be like it was 2 hours long. And at the end, in the credits, they said a month after that Newport Festival concert in 1965, where he did 3 songs with guitars and a rock and roll version, rock and roll outfit, where it caused all that controversy. Highway 61 went to #1. Like Rolling Stone went to #1. And it said that Bob Dylan never did what you expect him to do. He won a Nobel Prize and he didn't show up.
Daniel said the movie only covers 61 to 65, he believes, right?
Yeah, correct. You mean after all the times you told me to see it, Daniel, you haven't seen it yet? I guess you were busy seeing the Beyonce and the halftime. All right, this is Bob Dylan's first album or second album. I think this is his first album because it's got Fixin' to Die on there. Not too many originals. These are mostly all covers. House and the Rising Sun's on here. And if you ever seen the Animals do House of the Rising Sun on Ed Sullivan, you should check it out with Alan Price. They are a self-contained band. It's an amazing live version on Ed Sullivan. You can see why House of the Rising Sun went to #1 and took the Beatles off the charts. I mean, off the top.
Did you go see the Dylan movie? Yes, you did.
Yes, we did.
Said Uncle Paul.
I've already done it with Wakanda.
Why?
So this is a original Bob Dylan Nashville Skyline, I think from 1969. It's on the Columbia 2i stereo.
Well, he tells me to wait.
And it's got the great song. Pretty sure this is the one with Lay Lady Lay on it. Lay Lady Lay. What's that song about? I'm not sure. I'm not much of a Bob Dylan freak. This is the booklet that was in the Monterey Pop Festival. And here's a picture. If I can find it real quick. There's Brian Jones. So I went to the empty fairgrounds and I saw the stage and the whole festival, the place where this took place in 1967, but I didn't get there until the 80s, but I was just amazed. This is the same trip where I went to Candlestick Park to a San Francisco ball game and didn't pay attention to the ball game. I could only picture the Beatles playing out on third base. Bob Dylan, they talked about Mr. Tambourine Man in the movie, where he wouldn't perform that live anymore. And the Byrds took Mr. Tambourine Man all the way to #1 in the United States. This is a double LP from the 70s, Mr. Tambourine Man and Turn, Turn, Turn. Bob Dylan Biograph. It was the early box set. Got a nice booklet in here, and I think it has the pictures of Bob Dylan with Sylvia. Sylvia looks a little bit different in the movie. What other Bob Dylans I got? I got 2 greatest hits from the United Kingdom. I got Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits from Holland. Nice laminated cover on CBS Records, and Bob Dylan from the United Kingdom, a 2 LP set, more Bob Dylan Greatest Hits. Watching the River Flow.
Merry Christmas.
You're the missing me.
And one more Bob Dylan related to the movie. Joan Baez was in the movie a lot. This is the best of Joan Baez. And at the end credits, they said that she had a breakout in the 70s with the song Diamonds and Rust.
Mr. Make-Believe said third base. That's a good trivia question.
What is?
About the Candlestick Park.
Oh, third base. Yep, I'm going to be giving another butcher cover away when I get to 2,500 subscribers. We're at 2177 on my last count. So here's Bob Dylan, where he came out and performed with George Harrison in the concert for Bangladesh. He did A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall. He did It Takes a Lot to Laugh. And Bob hadn't performed in a long time, but he was good friends with George Harrison. George Harrison brought him out. And he actually did Blowing in the Wind many years afterwards, where he said he would never perform that song again, but he did for the concert for George Harrison. Mr. Tambourine Man, another song that he refused to play in the late 60s. That's my Bob Dylan moment.
Could we have a Christmas moment?
We got a lot of more things to show, unless you guys got some questions. Got a Beatles lunchbox, 65. Near mint condition that came in. Let's put this back down here. This is pretty expensive. $1,800 on my eBay store. The most collectible lunchbox. Tin lunchbox there is in the world. Lunchbox collectors want it and Beatle collectors want it. I've sold, in the past I sold one of these for $1,800. I sold one for $3,000 and I sold one for $3,200. Got a white interior with the thermos clip. And it even has the original tag. It says, "This kit is a property of a Beatle fan, Donna Stingle." And got the original thermos with an unbroken glass bottle inside. All right. Uncle Paul, you've seen my Ringo Soki. That was my last trivia question. What Beatles item was in the background of a Tiny Desk concert? And you know, in that concert, Tiny Desk concert, they only have the head. That's the only thing showing on the shelf. So it's real tough to see.
Gemini girl said I should win the butcher for the towel trick.
Huh.
And
You should.
Gordon Teets.
But you got to win it. There's a lot of other people want to win it too.
Gordon Teets says Slow Train coming by Bob Dylan. Love this Bob Dylan album.
Which Bob Dylan?
Slow Train?
Oh, I got that in the other room. I didn't bring that in tonight. Slow Train.
Where's it at?
Oh, it's tough to find. All right, we got Beatle monthlies. The last three, I got these courtesy of Dave Frazier, selling on consignment. They're on my eBay STICKERMANIA 2853 eBay store for $99. Issue number 75, 76. And the last issue ever made of the Beatles book from 77. And on the back, you got the Beatles smiling because they know they're about ready to be solo and break up. Good day in the Beatles' history. They're all smiles. It's only a matter of time before they're done. Got George or Paul there. And I think in the middle is just a drawing. Drawing of John Lennon and Paul McCartney. Looks like Paul's got a little baby that he's taking care of, and John says peace on his button. You see my Beatles button that was worn at the Washington D.C. concert, the first concert in America, February 11th, 1964. Got a lot of aging on the back. Only 1,000 of these were made in 64. Early 64, because they didn't know how to spell the Beatles. Only time, if you watch the Washington, D.C. concert or the Beatles 64 documentary, you can see a few girls in the front row, second row, wearing this button.
Like me.
All right, Beach Boys. Give me that Beach Boys over there. That album, that red album.
Oh, because it has the beach on it?
It's the Beach Boys. Give me the records. Careful. You're never careful with my things.
What the heck? It was my fault.
The records.
Who said there was a wall right there?
1972, Carl and the Passions. I have another one. I sold one of these the other day for $77. This is in better shape. I'll be putting on my STICKERMANIA 2853 eBay store. So Carl Wilson remixed Pet Sounds from the original mono master tapes and made a better version than the original 66. And they just did it like a bonus on this album. And nobody could care less in 1972. It even has a saw cut notch where you couldn't return this for credit. But now it's one of the most highly valuable Beach Boy albums there is because of this Pet Sounds Carl Wilson remaster. Considered one of the top 5 rock albums of all time. Beach Boys, Brian Wilson and Paul McCartney. You talked about John Lennon and Bob Dylan in the back of a limousine. Can you imagine having Paul McCartney and Brian Wilson together? All right, you want to put that back for me?
Yes, sir.
All right, what do you guys want to see next?
Christmas holiday carols.
That's the Rubber Soul United States version that Bob Dylan. It looks to me like it had the hype sticker or a store sticker on there that was taken off. I hope it didn't have the hype sticker. Rubber Soul, the one time the Capitol Records got the song sequencing pretty good. It starts with I Just Seen a Face. It's more of a folk rock album than it is than the United Kingdom pressing. Mazzy likes this version a lot. All right, we talked about, somebody asked me, Richard James asked me on my last live stream, what is a Milk and Honey signed by John Lennon worth? And Uncle Paul was real quick to say that this album was released after he was assassinated. So it could not be really signed by John Lennon. And if you looked at the dates on the bottom of this one, it says 1983. John Lennon, Milk and Honey. One of the last shots that was taken of John and Yoko the morning of the night that he got killed, evening. We won't even mention the assassin's name anymore. He keeps trying to get released, but I don't think it's going to happen. Not while Yoko's alive. Live Kinks, we talked about All Day and All the Night. The first track on this live album is All Day and All the Night. And there was part of the Bob Dylan movie tonight where they were playing All Day and All the Night by the Kinks. And the promoter of the Newport Festival says, Bob, we don't want you doing any rock and roll. You just got to do pure folk. He said, we don't want any of this Kinks crap. But Bob Dylan wasn't going to have it. He wasn't going to let anybody tell him what to do. Showed Butcher Cover, showed Introducing the Beatles. We didn't show the Rolling Stones. We didn't show the Abbey Road with the Miss Line from Australia. Where's that at? Not sure. Can't find it at the moment. I have an Abbey Road sorted somewhere. I got a Band on the Run over here. Show me that Band on the Run.
You want me to show you it or hand it?
Yeah, hand it to me, please. We forgot to show the Beatles and mono last time, right over there. You always forget to give me the record when you're showing me things.
Yeah, because why is the record not in the...
Is it rubber?
I don't put the record in the cover. Those are the black inner sleeves right there.
It's gonna make me angry.
We're missing everything but the Abbey Road.
It's underneath the table.
You see it? Yep. And I need the Beatles and mono box set.
Get that.
What?
Right there, the heavy box set
On
behind
the
it.
box.
Alright, got any questions? We're going to finish this out to show and tell.
And you have that picture outside that Dave Fraser.
Yes. The big frame. Alright, we got an Abbey Road from Australia. A late 70s version. But, you know, the Sgt. Pepper Nimbus Supercut and the Audio 5 from Australia were cut a few years after this. So, this is an audiophile pressing of Abbey Road from Australia. And if you notice the cover, this is the Australian cover, and this is the Australian, and this is the UK. And notice how there is a red tint to the bottom of this, and they call it the blood stain cover. It's another Paul is Dead clue from Australia. All right, that one goes with this. This one goes with this. Beatles and mono, talking about I Want to Hold Your Hand to hear the best way to hear the single tracks of I Want to Hold Your Hand, She Loves You, Ticket to Ride, I Shoot, She's a Woman, Hey Jude, Paperback Writer, is to get this Beatles and mono from 2014 Mono Masters, a 3-album set. And here I got a whole new, just got this in, put that back where it goes in here. Let's see if we can gently get this off here. It's on there tight.
Yeah, it's on the top. Alright, there you go, that's coming up. Maybe not. Shoot. Yeah, it's not wanting to come up for you.
I think it's getting caught at that edge. Right there, it's getting caught. There we go. Beatles and mono 2014. The only way you can get them where you're guaranteed they haven't been played is to have them. These silico packs, the black foam entered, and everything is sealed. The book, the Mono Masters is sealed, and the book is sealed. See if you can help me get the book out of here.
What? Leave the book out.
The book is sealed. That's a great book, the Beatles and mono, and all the albums are sealed in resealable bags, but you can tell they've never been opened up. A greatly audiophile pressing of the Beatles, complete from Please Please Me all the way up to the White Album. Let's show the White Album in here, right here.
Any King's Pie pressings?
That's the Masters. Hold on, right there. King's Pie pressing.
Yeah.
So Daniel's son.
That is all the White Albums in the 2014 mono box set start with 900. This is 900-333. All right, put away the mono box set. And he wanted to see a King's Pie. I had it sitting out here.
And Moonbeam Sky said there will always be top-notch stuff here.
What's this?
had a Kinks laid out.
It's time
No, it ain't.
for lunch.
Hush,
It's time for lunch.
hush.
I have Kinks pie things, but I'll have to show them next time. I don't have them out here right now.
Where they at?
I have a whole Kinks by the stairs, the whole stack of Kinks albums.
You wanna go get them or no?
Donovan, they were making fun of Donovan in the Bob Dylan movie. Because Bob Dylan says if you want folk rock tonight, you need to get Bob Dylan. This is Catch the Wind,
He said by the stairs.
Bob Dylan.
Oh, by the stairs?
Yeah, by the stairs, a whole bunch of Kinks albums. Band on the Run. With the original in the shrink, with the original hype sticker, it says Paul McCartney and Wings. Because on the front, it just says Band on the Run. It doesn't say the artist's name at all. Paul wasn't a big believer in putting a title on an album. He thought his albums were good enough. You didn't need to have a title on the album. But they put a hype sticker so people would know it's a Paul McCartney and Wings album.
I wanna give them to him.
Oh my God.
One more thing before I show the Kinks. The Rolling Stones. 70. The first issue of 71. Hot Rocks. And you gotta find the one. The very first couple days they made a mistake where they got outtakes for Brown Sugar
The way you hold it.
and Wild Horses
Exactly.
on side 4. And if you've never heard the Brown Sugar version on this, you need to. Eric Clapton's playing guitar. But in the dead wax, you have to have Shelley, and you have to have the date 11/18/71 in the dead wax.
Daniel said Donovan is a carbon copy of Dylan.
Yep. He's the American version. Isn't he from America, or is he from England too? Oh yeah, he's from England. He's the English version of Bob Dylan. All right, you want to talk about pie Kinks, and then we'll close this out.
How much does that Shelly OS go for?
It's at $222 on my STICKERMANIA 2853 eBay store. It's up there for $222. There's 5 watchers already. It will be sold probably tomorrow. Kevin from Kevin Records got me this. I showed you my original White Album 8-track in the original box. Now I got All Things Must Pass in the original box that was in the stores. Part 1, Part 2. Kinks pie, and then we'll close this out. Hope you liked our holiday special, and hit me a like. And I need a few more subscribers. Call your friends, call your neighbors, give me some more subscribers. And I'll give away another butcher cover. All right, Kinks albums. You want Kinks on pie. Here we go. That's on Reprise. This is on, I think this is a Holland version. Thought I had one, but maybe I don't. Kinks, Kinks, Kinks. All these seem to be USA's. Nope, no UK's of the Kinks. That's RCA, Candom. Not sure. That's probably Canada on that one. The last Kinks I have is Something Else by the Kinks with the great song, A Waterloo Sunset. Can you believe this was discounted at $1.39 now? Back then they didn't know the albums. This is in the, what's it called? Uncut Magazine Top 500. I think they have this in the Top 100. Something Else by the Kinks. The White Album was number 4. What was the one album? Number 1 album there. Revolver is the number 1 album on the Uncut Top 500 albums of all time. All right, I think that's it from
You guys
Louisville.
saw that picture?
Yeah, we got a frame to show here to close us out from Dave Frazier.
And Wookie Baby said, how much does that Shelly RS
We
go
already
for?
did.
222.
Why
You
did
were
you
taking
do
too long. I did it.
Because I was letting him talk.
You delayed. I'm trying to move it along.
Because you hate the line.
In an hour, you gotta move it along. Dave Frazier.
But then you complain if I move it on.
This hung in a record store in the early 2000s with all CD covers here of everything from the first albums all the way to Beatles 1. All 3 anthologies. Got 2 of them there. 3 of them. Got Let It Be Naked. Yellow Submarine soundtrack live at the BBC. And then all the core Beatles albums, including, I don't see Magical Mystery Tour on here. That's the only one missing. All the core albums from
That's
England. What?
Magic Mystery Tour.
Oh yeah, there it is. It's got them all. All right, thanks a lot from Louisville, Kentucky. Hope you liked it. We'll
Merry
be back.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. We'll be back next Wednesday. We'll be
Saturday.
back Saturday with a giveaway. I haven't decided what yet. Maybe I'll give away another rare Beatles picture sleeve. And what else was I gonna say? The mail here in Louisville, they had a couple machines down at the main post office and it backed up all the mail. It should break wide open. They fixed it last weekend. I should get about 10 packages tomorrow. We'll have a lot of new things to show for Saturday.
Goodbye.
Thanks
Have
a lot.
nice day.
Sticker granddaughter saying goodbye. We'll have Sticker Kid back on Saturday. See you later. Bye.
Merry Christmas.